Afternoon, teacher.
Welcome to another class of agricultural science. How are you guys doing today?
Fine.
Okay. So our topic for today is first aid. And our subtopic will be looking at rendering first aid. What is first aid? Anybody?
It is a material to use so it is a danger.
Yes, anybody else?
It's the first air given to a person, an injured person.
Okay. Okay, so quick question. Have you ever seen or heard about farm accidents?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what is it? Do you know why first aid is important?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is first aid important?
Because it is important to have one or not to use one because it is emergency happening.
Correct. Oh, what is first aid?
Hello and welcome to Module 1, What is First Aid? So whether you're at home or in the workplace, first aid is essential in order to give somebody that chance of survival by providing some basic life support skills. So first aid is that initial treatment that you're going to give to somebody that's become injured or unwell in the workplace before further assistance arrives. So the skills you're going to learn on this course, along with some common sense, you'll be able to apply them and be able to help somebody if they become injured or unwell. So as a first aider, we're going to look at three main priorities. So with common sense, you'll be able to apply them and be able to help somebody if they become injured or unwell. So as a first aider, we're going to look at three main priorities. So we're looking at preserving life, preventing the injuries from getting any worse, and promoting recovery. So to preserve life, that may be stemming the bleed until further medical assistance arrives. It may be doing CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, until the ambulance and defib arrives. To prevent an injury from getting any worse, that might be a case of placing somebody that's in shock, lying down and raising their legs, or maybe someone that just feels a little bit unwell, a little bit dizzy, and actually just sitting them down before they fall down. Same with the bleed. If they're bleeding, we're going to prevent it from getting any worse by applying a bandage and putting some pressure and elevating that wound. To promote recovery, so if they're with us, then we may promote recovery by giving them something sugary to drink, for instance, if they had felt a little bit dizzy, a little bit dehydrated, and hadn't had anything to eat or drink that day. It may also be the treatment that they get in hospital to promote that recovery, but we will make sure that we recognise that and call an ambulance as quickly as possible in order to get them the treatment that they need.
Okay, class. So from that small video that you watched there, tell me what exactly you understand is the first aid.
So, is it due for emergency?
Yes. Miss Angel? You can stand, please. Stand, please.
They can save life.
Yes. Miss, would you like to answer that?
It helps them in their emergencies, immediate emergency.
Yes. So both of y'all are correct. Everything that you said, it is correct when it comes to a first aid. Now we're going to look at the importance of first aid.
Class, now we deal with the importance of rendering first aid. Can you please read what's on the board?
Help prevent future.
Wait, can you please read together?
Help prevent further injury.
It is essential for the care of hazardous accidents or injuries.
Good. So you just read that. Do you have anything more to add? Do you think any more importance for rendering first aid? Anything else?
So it is important to put one on site at all times.
Anybody else? Okay. So next we'll be dealing with steps of rendering first aid. The first step is to assess the scene. By assessing the scene, you must, for example, okay, let me give you an example. So if somebody's getting shot, you can't just go and just touch them while they continue to shot. You will also get shot. So that's why you must assess the scene and make sure that the current is off or whatever is happening within the situation. Next, after you finish assessing the scene, you need to assess the injured person or party. You can do so by asking questions like, are you okay? What happened? And so on. Call for help. Everybody knows the police number 911. You need to call for help or call the nearest police station or the hospital. Or the ambulance. Next step is protect yourself. Okay, we could protect ourselves by using PPE. Does anybody in class know what is PPE? Sir Dorian?
So it is the protective clothing that you wear or protecting gear.
True. Miss Amanda?
It's a personal protective equipment that is really protect ourselves.
Yes. Okay. So yes, you guys are correct. PPE is called personal protective equipment, which is keeping injured person calm while awaiting medical personnel. Remember, personnel. Right? So remember, when you call ambulance, they don't come right away. So you have to keep the person calm and steady. Okay. Next one, report. Yes.
What do you mean by
So that's the question, right? So you can keep a person calm by putting them in a place where they're comfortable, by allowing them to breathe in and out. Because remember, sometimes people's nerve when they get injured is in a panic state. You can tell them breathe in, breathe out, and keep them calm. Okay. After the person is being picked up from the medical personnel, you need to report the incident to the supervisor and or the manager. Okay? Cass?
Yes, Now to have what Sarah said, now before the person is being picked up by the medical personnel or the professional medical personnel, the incident is to be reported to the manager or supervisor first. Because remember, the manager and supervisor have to know exactly what's going on and why is there an ambulance in the compound to pick up something that somebody or the individual that he knows or she knows nothing about. So the manager or supervisor need to be aware of it before medical personnel is doing provision.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shaw, for that point. Next, items found in first aid kit. Can you please guys tell me any items you can found in the first aid kit? Any items? Miss Hasford?
Bandages, sir.
Yes, and Miss
Gloves.
Gloves. Alright, good. Now we have a sample of first aid. We have a sample of first aid to show you guys. These are items in first aid kit.
Okay, so there is a practical session where you are to be paired into a practical session will be in a group of 2 to perform this practical. So you could just find yourself in a group of 2.
Injuries, right? Because anybody, okay, we all know there are injuries on the farm, right? So can you guys tell me any common injuries that happens on the farm?
Snake bite.
Okay.
Cuts.
Cuts. Anybody else? Miss Hasford?
Bruises.
Okay, good. Okay, Alice. Can you
Let's do
guys
our
tell me any more
water.
common injuries?
Yeah, you can go back in front.
Miss Hasford? Okay. Anybody else? Miss
We
Amanda?
can have some animal-related injuries, that injuries that we get from animals.
True, like button. Last please, if you don't know the board. Come
Common agricultural
Wait, together.
Common agricultural injuries. Cuts and grazes. Burns, fractures.
Okay, so I have a video to show you guys about cuts and grazes and how to deal with it.
I'm sorry.
Cuts and roses are common injuries that can usually be treated at home. A cut is a full break to the skin. There is a great Normally, all you need to do is clean and dry the cut, apply some pressure and raise the injury. This should help prevent infection and stop bleeding. The wound should heal right out in a few days. When treating a cut, always overlook this can happen. And first, ask the casualty to apply some pressure to the wound using a piece of board. And then raise the injury. Next, you need to clean the wound. And gently dry it. And finally, apply a sterile dressing. Remember, apply pressure, raise the injury, clean and dry the cut, apply a sterile dressing. If you're worried about infection, ask the casualty to seek medical advice. And that's how you treat a cut or a wound.
Alright class, can you please tell me what you learned from the video about cuts and grazes? Everywhere?
First, you apply pressure to the injured part.
Yes, Miss Amanda.
Then you have to like sanitize.
Okay, Miss.
Then the bandage.
Pardon?
The bandage.
Okay, anybody else? Miss Haskell?
So after you apply pressure on the wound, and you have to sterilize the wound, and then you apply bandages on it.
Yes, and you also have to clean the wound. Alright, okay, so we just learned from the video cuts and grazes. Next, we'll be looking at video on fractures.
Okay, sorry.
A break or crack in a bone is called a fracture. A broken bone that does not puncture the skin is called a closed fracture. But sometimes a bone can puncture the skin. This is called an open fracture. Even if you can't see any blood, the break will have caused some internal bleeding, and the injured person may develop shock. Bones that are still growing, like children's bones, are supple and can split, crack, or bend quite easily, a bit like a twig, but the injury is still very painful. If you think someone has a fracture, you may see swelling and bruising. They may have difficulty moving and have movement in an unnatural direction. The limb may look shorter, twisted, or bent. There may be a grating noise or feeling if the limb is moved, have loss of strength, or see signs of shock. If you think you've broken a bone, support the injured part to stop it from moving. This should help ease the pain and prevent any further damage. Place padding around the injury for extra support. If it's an open fracture, cover the wound with a sterile dressing and secure it with a bandage. Apply pressure around the wound and not over the protruding bone to control any bleeding. Call 999 or 112 for emergency help. While you're waiting for help to arrive, don't move the casualty unless they're in immediate danger. Support the injured area. For example, fractures on the arm can be secured against the body with a sling. Fracture to the leg can be secured to the uninjured leg with a triangular bandage. Keep checking the person for signs of shock, but do not raise an injured leg. If necessary, necessary, raise the uninjured leg. If they become unresponsive at any point, prepare to treat an unresponsive casualty. So remember, pad and support the injured area. Use a sling or triangular bandage to keep it secure. Cover any wounds. Call 999 or 112. And that's how you treat someone with a fracture. If this video has been helpful to you, help support Syndrome Ambulance by going to sja.org.uk/donate.
Fractures. There are, from the video they also said there's two types of fractures. Can anybody list the two types of fractures? Yes, sir, Dory?
Split and break.
Split and break. Do you think he's correct, class? Remember, a fracture is not definitely a broken bone, but it's a crack in the bone or crack on the bone. So, do you think he's correct? He's kind of correct, but not completely. Because there is a fracture that actually burns split to the bone to come out. Doesn't necessarily mean that the bone is right, but the fracture to open a wound. And you get a close fracture. You just came there to start swelling and so yes, you can not fracture by swelling or a simple cut on the bone and it break this out. Now can I say, oh, you can assist a person that has a fractured bone? Let's say a fractured hand. No? Miss Dinella?
Basically, we put oxygen or somebody using a plug or some form of support, like tying it to the neck or to the ankle to the feet.
Okay, so the plug that you tie from your hand for the support, you call that a sling. So you use something to make a sling to keep the hand close to the chest. There's other video that is really how to treat burns.
Excuse me, so show me the other, I want to ask another question. To add to what Mrs. Show said, okay, so how do you identify if someone has a broken hand? Miss Amanda.
Well, basically see that the hand is not compact, so we
Okay, good try. Sir Rick.
From the important carry the arm, they will have to do from chain.
Okay. Anybody else?
Swelling.
Swelling, okay. Okay guys. So there's multiple ways you can see if someone's arm is broken. If the arm is mingled, or they can't raise it up, or they cry for pain, or it doesn't look out of place. Okay, pardon? Short things. Okay, another one. Alright. Now, continue to the show.
Video shown how to care for burns.
Hi, my name is Maria, and I'm a doctor. In my line of work, first aid can be the difference between life and death. But you don't have to be a professional to save a life. Should you find yourself in an emergency situation, follow these 6 steps. In case of a burn, cool the affected area with cold running water as soon as possible for a minimum of 10 minutes. This will reduce the pain, swelling, and risk of scarring. Do not use ice or ice water. Next, cover the wound in cling film or a plastic bag to reduce pain. Do not burst any blisters. If the burn is severe, immediately call the emergency services. If you find yourself in the right place at the right time, be prepared to save a life and follow these 6 steps. For more life-saving advice, visit safesteps.com. Hi, my name is Maria, and I'm a doctor. In my line of work, first aid can be the difference between life and death.
Okay guys, see this much part of the video on burns. Right? What can you tell me what you learned from the video? Okay, anybody else?
You can pull it about the screen.
Okay. Miss Hassel?
I remember getting burned once by an iron where I quickly went onto the water to run water to prevent scars or do you like those little black spots that you would have on your hands?
Yes.
You would rather put it on the water to avoid the scars.
Okay. Third word.
Avoid touching it.
Pardon?
Avoid touching it. Avoid touching.
Okay. I have another question for you guys. Right? Do you use any type of temperature of water?
No, sir.
What type of water temperature do you use? No, that was okay. Good. Cool water, not ice cold water. Or ice. That's a question. Alright.
Sorry, when I get born, I'm going to I was forced it, And then you know what's happened? It was born.
Yes, it's not advisable to burst the little bone right away, or it can leave scars. You can burst it too.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a yes scar on still?
Yes, that's a yes scar. You shouldn't burst it.
Okay.
Alright.
Anybody else have anything to prove to that?
Sorry.
It's not
I remember one thing. Like the same incident where I got burned by the iron, right? I quickly took a piece of tube to put on it to avoid swelling. But is that okay?
It's not advisable to do that also because you could also have something called cold burn. So it's not advisable to do that.
Okay.
Yes. So now we have a practical activity for you guys.
I did tell you guys to find your peers. Have you guys find your partners yet that you'll be working with?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Find partner, kindly turn and face each other. Sir, kindly assist.
The person of the partner.
Yes. So for this practical here, we're going to practice bandaging and splinting techniques. Okay? So you pretend, alright, say for you got a bruise or a cut in your hand and the other partner have a splint or a fractured arm. The same for you and the same for you. So just want to assist one on applying the techniques that we learned from the videos. Okay? Kindly bring up my turn and face the partner. And Amanda. So for your hand where you add the cut, right? Now Miss Abs, you feel to apply pressure to the hand. As you can see this bandage is here, it is loose. You're supposed to apply pressure and then wrap it tightly to stop the bleeding. However, the skin must apply correctly to the finger. This is good. Start alright?
Yes, sir.
These are our hands to our wrist. If you could enjoy the calculate bit more. If this could have gone behind it, if it could have gone behind here away from the active, it really, really nice.
Okay.
However, for your splint or your fractured finger, no first it was not applied to that. So be marked down for that. Also for this here, there's adequate pressure added to the cut, yes. However, your partner was not treated for our fractured finger. No splint was not applied to it. So only one thing that both of it, let's say, not both, at least one of it correct, and that'll be good one. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, so from the practice that we just did, you can put that to the middle of the practice and we're toe what into the toe in the garment. You have an assessment that comes based on what you gathered from the. So what this assessment will be ended to you at the end of the lesson. Now to conclude the lesson, we've learned what is a first aid. Can anybody recap what is a first aid? Anyone? Or can I say?
It's the first assistance given to an injured person before medical professional help arrive.
Correct.
Thank you,
Give
Mr.
yourself
Martha.
a tap on the shoulder.
Happens.
To anybody the importance of a first aid, at least one importance.
Certain word.
In case of emergency.
In case of emergency. Anybody else want to add to that? Importance of first aid.
Ms. Hasfa?
The importance of first aid, it's, as Amanda just said, it is a temporary placement before the actual medical help is assisted.
Anybody can raise a common agricultural injuries? No, Miss Absalom. Miss Zanella? Yes. You give yourself a tap on the shoulder, that's correct. Miss Angel, steps in rendering first aid.
Yes, steps inform the supervisor first, and then take the person to calm place. And you could also call 911 or any police hospital.
Correct. If you want to give yourself a round of applause, you did good. Now, items found in a basic first aid kit. Anybody can answer this here. I need at least 3 items found in a basic first aid kit. Yes, Ms. Sasa?
Bandages.
Bandages. Sorry, Doric?
Ventilators.
Ventilated. Ms. Inka?
Gloves,
Kindly stand when you answer the
gloves,
gloves, yes. So, bandages, ventilated, gloves, they're all found in the first aid kit, okay? Now that is bring us to the end. There's a small video for you to watch. You can stay for life. Okay. So that brings us to the end of the video. Now there's only 3 questions on this assessment and this quiz that you need to complete it. 3 questions. And the rest.